Okay, welcome to the class. Now let us move to second unit. We have completed our first unit. Let us move to second unit. The name of the unit is Design of Machine Elements Against Static Loading. Now after that we have studied the basic concepts of designs, design considerations, procedures. Now we will move to this new chapter. The contents in this unit are theories of failures. We have yield and failure fracture criteria, maximum normal stress theory, maximum shear stress theory, maximum distortion energy theory. Although there are 5 theories of failure, we have 3 in the syllabus. We will try to discuss all the 5 theories of failures. Comparison of various theories of failures, direct and combined loadings, joints subjected to static loadings like knuckle joint, quarter joint, turnbuckle, and at the end, introduction to fluctuating loads. Introduction to fluctuating load is the basis on which the unit number 3 will be there. So that basic portion we will be discussing at the end of this chapter, and at the end we will have an activity like we had in unit number 1. Now let us move to the first topic, that is theories of failure, yield and fracture criteria. Now what is this fracture means? What is this failure means? First of all, this theories of failure means this is something, theories are there, some proven theories are there, and those theories are of what? Of failures, about failures. Then what is a failure in mechanical field? In the mechanical field we have different types of failures. When something breaks permanently, that we call as breakage or actual breakage or failure. But it is a general perception that everything that breaks is called as failure, that has failed. No, there are 3 types of failures that we can consider in the field of mechanical engineering. First is actual breakage. Now you must have seen this video while performing the tensile test on UTM, where the material was breaking when it crosses its ultimate tensile strength. So in this case we called it as actual breakage. So actual breakage is a type of failure, number 1. Number 2 can be permanent deformation. When something permanently deforms, it yields so long that it has completely lost its original shape and size. That means it is not going to regain its shape and size. That means that has gone permanent deformation. That also we call as a type of failure. Why? Because something has permanently deformed, that means it will lose its functionality. Its original functions will be not as the case after permanent deformation. And the third is equivalent stresses crosses the maximum allowable stress. That means if we have decided that this is the stress level up to which this component has to be worked upon, if that stress level is being crossed while performing operations or during its operations, then we will consider that this material has failed. Next, we know that in UTM, the tensile test experiment, stress and strain relationship were developed. We have plotted the graph also, that computerized generated graph also we had. You must have studied in the previous, and we can also see in this video also. Now here the loading is in one direction, that is uniaxial. The loading is uniaxial. But have you ever thought what will happen when the loadings are in 2 directions, that is x and y, or in 3 directions x, y and z? In this type of cases, then what will be when will the material fail at that time? Now when we think of these points, that what will happen to the material when it will fail, when the loading is in 2 directions or 3 directions, those comes under the answer to those comes under the theories of failure. Now these theories of failure established a relationship between principal stresses together with some elastic constants to the strength of the component, which is determined under simple tension test. See, we have simple tension test on UTM. On the basis of that, we have decided that okay, the material has this yield strength, this ultimate strength. So that level, when the principal stress reaches a particular strength that we have tested already on the UTM, then we call that one type of theory. Similarly, if shear stress reaches a particular level that we have tested already on UTM, then we call as other theory, and so on. We will have see all those 5 theories of failures. Now here in this topic you must have seen the topics yield and fracture criteria. What is this yield and fracture criteria? Then what is this yielding? Yielding is a permanent deformation which occurs due to dominant sliding on the planes. If a material, you know that the mechanical materials have different molecules, different layers. When the material slides over one other planes, in that case the material permanently deforms, and this sliding occurs on specially oriented grain structures. The materials have different grain structures on which the sliding occurs. Now this yielding takes place without actual rupture of the material. Material is permanently not breaking. It is not breaking permanently. Not permanent rupture is there, but it takes place like sliding takes place. So that we call as yielding. The structural member loses its functionality. Original function of the member will not be as when the planes had already been slide. Loses its functionality or the functional utility and the functional use when yielding exceeds a permissible value. Up to a certain limit, a material when yields can be considered. After a certain limit it permanently deforms, so that will not be considered. Therefore yielding is considered as failure. So yielding is also called as or considered as a type of failure. Now we have second, fracture. You know that if something breaks permanently, one piece has become 2 pieces, obviously that has failed, so that has to be considered as a failure. So fracture is a failure wherein separation of material occurs in the cross section perpendicular to the direction of the tensile stresses. This fracture criteria is applicable to mostly brittle materials. Actually there is a fine limit of almost 5% variation between the ductile and brittle metal that we will see in the different theories of failures. Now we know that failure of members subjected to uniaxial stress looks very simple. It looks simple like a material is loaded in one direction, say y direction, it is pulled and after some time it breaks. It looks very simple. But in this case, if you go in deep, we will see that many things are happening at the same time inside the material. It's not simply that in one direction the stress is generated and so it is failing. Many things happen simultaneously. It is in unidirection, one direction, so we feel it is very simple, but it's not that simple. What happens simultaneously? We can see the maximum stress generated in this material reaches ultimate stress or the ultimate strength of the material. That is one thing. At the same time, it may be that maximum shear stress tau max that reaches the yield shear stress value. And second can be the tensile strain in the material may reach the yield point strain. At the same time, total strain energy per unit volume absorbed by the material can reach to the strain energy per unit volume at the yield point. And at the last, strain energy distribution per unit volume of the material reaches strain energy distribution at the yield point. Now in all these 5 sentences, if you see at the yield point, at the yield point, at the yield point, what does this means? We have a standard set. We have already set a standard based on what? Based on UTM experiments, tensile test experiments. So while performing the tensile test on UTM, we have decided that okay, this is the ultimate level, this is the yield level, so all these levels. So during tensile test, if a material has reached this yield point, that is the yield strength, so at this, if we compare those yield strength level to these conditions, that we consider as we will be considering in theories of failures. Next, all these values all these 5 values can reach their ultimate value simultaneously under when the member is or material is under uniaxial stress system. In the case of UTM test, tensile test, all these 5 things reach at the same time. But in biaxial or multi-axial system where different loads are coming from different axes, all these values cannot reach simultaneously. Therefore, the deciding criteria of failure need to be established. No, we cannot say the material has failed due to which reason, because at some direction maybe the principal stress is high, at some direction maybe shear stress is very high. So at different cross sections, different planes, different stresses may be high. So at some value, at some direction, maybe the strain energy is very high. So how do we establish that? So these things have to be considered so that we can decide the failures, how and the failure material is failing in which condition. For this, different theories of failures have been formed, and these theories of failure which are formed are: number one, maximum principal stresses theory, that is normal stress theory, it is also called as, or given by the Rankins, so therefore Rankins theory. Second is maximum shear stress theory, or by Guest and Tresaz, therefore Guest and Tresaz theory. Maximum principal strain theory or normal strain theory, called as Saint-Venant's theory. Maximum strain energy theory or Haig's theory. And the last, maximum shear strain theory or distortion energy theory, given by Vaughan and Mises, therefore Vaughan, Mises and Hankey theory. All these 5 theories of failures we will discussing one by one from the next lecture. From next lecture we will go through the first to last theories of failures.